just yet, but either way, because let me let you know that too right now. You could, even if it ain't nobody in here, you can keep on going because even after you make these videos, automatically it uploads it, but you have the choice to make it private or visible. So that's
Okay.
why I'd be going on here and then people would just join up.
Okay.
But anyway, without further ado, yeah, it's your boy Ricky D, aka Mr. Shit on Everything, aka No Tolerance Rick.
Shit on everything.
I'm over here chilling with my mans right now. Y'all done seen them on the channel before, you know. We were just talking though, and then yeah, the camera didn't cut out, but we just gonna keep it going on here. Where was we at? If you could remember.
We were talking about other groups of people when they come here.
Oh, okay, there we go. All right.
So what we were talking about was originally we was talking about Black Power, and we were talking about how you accumulate power, and
Right.
it comes through numbers. It comes the first step to any type of power is families. Okay.
Right.
So when you see Jewish people come here, Chinese people come here, they're all able to get up and start moving because our families are
I
intact.
know, man. My fault.
Right? So, let's say I get a store. Do I need to hire a bunch of employees if I got 4 sons and a wife?
Nah, yo.
Not only do I not
you
need
can already start this
not only do I not need to hire an employees, I can keep my job going, so I can supplement this whenever times get hard.
Right.
But what happens if my baby mom decides she wants to put me on child support because I'm making money at this store now, and now this store is hemorrhaging money. The thing that I could have had for my children to secure their future is now being taken by their mom because she has a petty attitude and can't see long term. Right? So I want to take this nigga money because I want to make him upset.
Right.
Right? Okay, cool. What happened if your
Sorry,
mom would have put
Common,
me
I
on
ain't
child
wanna
support?
anymore.
If your mom would have ever put me on child support and it stuck, I raised the type of kids that when they turned 18, they just started helping me pay that child support down. How about that? And that would have affected their futures, right? Because I raised good kids. One of the good things that came from my children being with me was they got to be themselves. You see my son? You see that hat? How many YNs is walking around looking like this? Because he get to be what he want to be because he got to see his father be who he wanted to be and get respect.
Yeah, hold on. What is child support? You could explain it, man.
Oh, well, so child support was a great little thing that they came up with, along with something called no-fault divorce. So first things first, I don't want to speak about any other group of people.
Word up.
I don't want to talk about whites, Jews, Chinese, none of that.
We in our race.
We talking about ours, right now. I put up a post earlier that said, when slavery was here, love was enough. When Jim Crow was here, black people was getting hung in the middle of the main street, love was enough. But at the moment that white folks decided that the family being together was the real problem, they gave you Section 8, after school programs, free lunch. They gave you everything that a father would actually help you with so that he wouldn't need to be here. Then they hit you with crack, right? Now let's talk about what crack did for a second. Because we're going to talk about hip-hop next. They're the same thing. Came out the same time.
Can't have one without the other.
Gave it to you by the same people.
Yeah.
Everything. Stop claiming things for your culture. It's not your culture. Hip-hop is not yours. You know why you know? Well, I'll say this. Rap ain't yours.
Yeah, rap ain't yours. Hip-hop is yours. Yeah.
Hip-hop is yours. See, when I was a kid, and again, that's why they don't want you listening to older people.
That's why they don't get
When I was a kid, you couldn't say that you did hip-hop unless you break dance, did graffiti, and a bunch of other stuff too. There wasn't no, I'm just a rapper.
Yeah,
blah, 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 blah. So,
rapper was barely important like this.
I'm gonna explain something. I'm gonna make a quick point real quick. The reason why music is trash, movies are trash, all of that is trash, is because the father left the home. And when the father leaves the home, the mom has to compensate for all the shortcomings her sons have. So, when my son was little,
remember, I told
he
y'all.
was very,
I told
very
y'all
shy.
niggas. Yeah, I told y'all. Come on.
Very, very shy. One of the proudest moments I had was figuring out that he liked to rap. I remember that. I remember the whole scenario. He was at my brother's house, and my brother was really into rap, and he had a bunch of people in the living room.
We battled,
and I went outside to go see somebody about something, and when I came back in the house, everybody was looking at this kid in the middle of the floor, and he is going crazy. And he was so happy because he seen me smiling. We walked outside, we were leaving. He said, Dad, what'd you think about my raps? And I said, they trash.
Remember, y'all niggas might have thought I was capping when I told y'all.
I said they trash.
I told
right?
y'all for a fact.
And he went to his mom's house that weekend. And his mom called me as soon as I dropped him off and said, you fat motherfucker, if you ever kill my son Dream like this, da-da-da-da-da.
I was hurt.
She went crazy on me. And I laughed and I said, yo, I texted her back and I said, yo, I appreciate you calling me and cussing me out. That's your job as his mama, right? It's my job as his father to make sure that anything he do, he gonna take seriously, have pride in, and be good at it.
Right.
And I said, in a moment that boy actually makes some music that I respect, it's gonna mean so much more. But I didn't just tell him it was trash. I told him how to make it better. I said, bro, every rapper that you like that I listen to, they all read books.
Yeah, word.
They all have a huge vocabulary. You rhyme the same 4 words for 40 minutes, and that's trash to me. When I listen to these young boys who can't even stay on the beat, I automatically know there was a single mom who started paying for studio time, playing your fucking music, and did not care if you was good or not. Because I can't tell you ain't good. Because then I'm going to have to tell you why you ain't good.
Right.
I'm going to have to tell you that this man I've been telling you don't mean nothing. Don't make a difference in our family. It don't matter whether he here or not. I'm going to have to explain to you that, it really does make a difference. And that's why. Right? I have a friend of mine, Mike Creamer. If you ever watch this,
Shout out,
just
yeah.
know, 100%, bro, you are an idol to me, and we are the same age. When I was about 21, 22, I was all into these, who killed Kennedy and all the rest of this dumb conspiracy shit. And he said, bro, you still stuck on the who's and not the whys or the whats. And I said, oh, shit, what does that mean? He said, well, stop figuring out what they did.
Get to the bottom.
Start getting to why they did it.
I tell you niggas this all the
Why
time.
are they doing
None
this
of
to
these-
you?
Yeah,
And I remember sitting in his crib in the Victors downtown and looking at his bookshelf and saying, yo, he got 300-400 books in this joint. And I only got a bookshelf at this point. I don't even have a book. But what I did notice was when this man decided to talk, he could talk in any room. Any room, it ain't matter where we took him. And he could hold his own. And I'll always love that. And I said, yo, I want to be like that. Why? Because I had men around and I didn't think that was crazy. So look at another man and say, yo, I'm inspired by him. You know who don't do that? Women. Women, everything is me. You ain't never met nobody like me before. You ain't never gonna meet nobody like me before. No, men can look at other men and say, yo, he got something I need. And I don't know robbery shit. No, this boy got a couple 100 books, and I like the way he talk. I want to do that. You know what I did? Got a couple 100 books in myself. Right? Up until that point, I remember spending $900 on a sweatsuit. On this iceberg sweatsuit. Let me explain something to you. When you grow up with a mama, you will go out and buy clothes before you go buy a car. Because women's whole life is how they look. I'm going to get everything off how I look. I'm going to get this job interview off how I look. I'm going to get the man I want based off how I look. All these connections I'm going to make is based off of how I look. If somebody wants to fuck me or not. But men can't operate from that way. So I started learning real quick. Hey, the things I learned, I need to unlearn these things because these are things that get women through, not men. Right? So, back to the subject of what I was talking about with the woman who didn't know about the finances. When I told her what the finances were, I showed her the bill. She said, oh my God, the electric's $750. I said, yeah, the electric been $750. I just pay the bill every month so they don't shut us off.
Right.
For the next 2 months, all she did was complain and fall to pieces thinking that electric was getting cut off.
Yeah, damn.
A man don't have that. You don't have that option. When times get hard, your thing cannot be to fall apart. You know what happens when little boys is raised by women? When his woman say the bills is backed up, he say, well, what you gonna do?
Well, what you gonna do?
Because that's what women say.
Yo.
To they man, what you gonna do?
Well, what
you gonna do? And you know what he start doing? He start blaming you. You shopping too much. You spending too much money. And you doing this and you doing that.
Look for every other reason but finding a solution.
You know what they do?
Uh.
They go outside and go fuck somebody. Because what do women do? My man ain't doing enough for me. I'm going to go find me somebody else. This is how men operate. So when women, when you are looking at these niggas and saying, yo, fuck this motherfucker and fuck that motherfucker and da-da-da, understand you made that.
Your sister was the reason.
You made that. When you sat around, watched your girlfriend put her baby
I was
dad
gonna say,
out,
usually women
but
would stick
you will
together on every
support
else
that
that
100%. And then when that little nigga end up with your daughter, whooping her ass, having multiple babies and everything else, now it's the, oh, fuck that. Where was his daddy at? Well, you showed up to court to help your dumb friend get a restraining order against his daddy. Don't ask where he at now. Who knows where he at now? He probably started 4 other
Who
families.
showed multiple proof of income, whatever they needed.
Whatever they needed.
So you can't even pull that. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell y'all something. That's some real shit. The government does not give mothers children because they're natural nurturers. They give mothers children because jails are made by promising that these beds are going to be full.
Did I not tell you niggas this at all?
If you ever look up a contract, and please do this, I believe it was Tennessee, when they made weed legal, the government went broke because they had to let all these men out of prison. And they had to borrow money from the federal government.
So you think drugs in your neighborhood?
The whole, no, absolutely not. 'Cause they know what it is. Understand something. That government admitted publicly to flooding black neighborhoods with crack in 1996.
Y'all thought I was capping.
Look this up. Look this up. The reason why you don't know, is because by then the homes were already split. And instead of giving you retribution, instead of taking responsibility, they gave you rumors and y'all ran with the rumors. So in 1996, the day that they told you that, they told another thing too, and you're going to remember that thing. They told you that Bill Clinton got his dick sucked in the White House, and everybody remembers that, but not that they told you that the government flooded your neighborhood with crack. But your son still go to jail for crack. Bill Clinton went on with his life. Monica Lewinsky went on with her life. They wrote books and did all that, made millions of dollars. But our children still go to jail for crack. You know why? Because there's no more men left. There's no more men left that say, nah, you're not taking my son to jail for some shit you did. Nah, you know what they did? They told you, no, your son go to jail because he don't have fathers. So now we all just blame black men for our children being in jail.
Because even then, how can I be a problem for something that if I wasn't around to raise him? You could say that if I was a piece of shit and I raised my boy to be a piece of shit, but if I wasn't around, nigga, he's following what he saw.
It's been 3 generations of fatherless children.
Yeah, you could say that in the 80s when this was the first time it was happening.
See, I was born in 1979. For everybody that's watching this, I was born in 1979. Yeah, I don't have any problem admitting my age and all that crazy shit because I wasn't raised by women who need to lie about their age. I'm 36. I'm still 29 and I'm 50. But okay.
Yeah, we got OG.
Yeah, because that's Arrested Development. That's not really cute, ladies, by the way. It's really showing your mental deficiency. But okay. What happened is that what happened if there was really men who stood up for their children, who actually loved you, realized that you were actually a gift. When you try to lock my son for crack, I'll shoot you fucking dead, boy. You know why you don't see white people? Because there are white people that get killed by cops all the time. You know why you do not see them rioting and wilding? Because they go kill those fucking police. They drag them out their fucking house and go murder them in the street. You know why? Because they're going to send the fucking message. You're not going to do that shit here.
I hope you guys don't think I just be trying to shit on you.
They're not going to send the message. You know what you niggas did? Kneel. You thought kneeling and crumping in front of police.
The nigga who's shooting you. If I'm the bully,
keep dancing.
What am I gonna do?
You know why? Because what do women do? What do women do? You get into a breakup, I'm gonna go out and get drunk and twerk on each other. We're always dancing. So y'all think that this is manly. None of this is manly. Let me tell you a few other things that are very woman-filled and inspired. Having 50 pairs of shoes, you're not a sneakerhead. You're not. You're emotionally unstable and you're feminine. Having mad diamonds, that is not something that is manly. Diamond, the slogan is diamonds are a what best friend? They're a girl's best friend. Huh?
Rocky Gold, man. If anything, that's what we
So now you niggas got Gucci satchels. That's a purse.
Man bag. I was going to say that's a man bag.
And then you try to jazz it up and put a gun inside of it.
I got the blicky. That's why I got it. It's still gay.
Bruh.
Gangsta-licious.
This is all gay. Who do you think wants all the homosexuality in our community? Because when the men say, hey, I don't want these motherfuckers around my kid, oh, you probably secretly gay.
Right.
You must want a man. That must be what you want.
Don't you think I would tell you to keep him around if I wanted the man? You see how quick that argument is just kind of broken up right then and there?
Listen, I got a woman I deal with right now, right?
I would want the gay man.
She love me to death. Because I'm different from everybody else she ever dealt with. Do you think that she's the first woman I ever dealt with that felt like that? Every woman I ever dealt with always feels like that. Why? Because I literally am. Having a father now is the real flex because you're not gonna be like the rest of these niggas. Because the rest of these niggas ain't nothing but they disgruntled mamas.
Yeah.
So what you want to do as a black man is the first thing you want to do is stop being mad at your father. First thing you need to do is reach out to him, find him. I don't give a fuck if you gotta go on social media. You will jump in a bitch's DM, go jump in your daddy DM.
99% of the time you find out, like, oh, I was lied to.
You will find out not only were you lied to, you was lied to on purpose.
And that's the worst part, when you realize it was all purposeful. Nigga, yeah,
You was
you
lied
thought
to out of shame. You was lied to, and the lie was kept alive because the moment that you realized how bad things actually were, you probably wouldn't like your mom.
Right.
And a lot of, and as much as they talk shit about these niggas, most men don't even tell you who your mom really is. They don't want you to change your view of her. So most men will just be like, man, that wasn't true. That wasn't true.
You know how many niggas I know like that? They'll tell me out they mouth.
There are three things that are automatically a red flag when I hear a woman say these things, and I'm gonna tell you why in a second. If a woman say he beat me, he was broke, or he cheated, I automatically discount it. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because as a man who's in demand, I can tell you firsthand, there's nothing you can't do to a woman if she like you. Okay. I messed with a joint, and I told her when we first started messing around, she said, you out of the women? I said, yeah, you 1 of 12. You think she hung up the phone?
That ain't just no cool sounding shit. I be there majority of the time. I'm gonna let y'all know
Absolutely
now.
did not hang up that phone.
We don't like to just try to sound cool.
She said, oh my God, that's crazy. Do these other women know? You just found out. And you're still on the phone.
You think I'm high enough?
Okay. I don't want to hear he's broke. You know why? Because I haven't had a woman yet that ain't spent a bunch of money on me. Some of them trying to get to my money, but most of them are just trying to convince me they good women. So I don't want to hear he's broke. You know when he broke becomes a problem? When he said, yo, I don't want you having male friends.
You start trying to enforce them.
Now he broke.
Now I'm broke.
Hey, I don't like the way you was responding when these niggas be hitting your pictures up. Now he broke and now it matters.
When I was really broke, that shit ain't mattered. Now
Now it matters. Okay, I get it. So, what are we gonna do here? Are we gonna really keep saying to ourselves, it's the men, it's the men, it's the men? You know how you know that you don't have that who your enemy is? It's an old saying. They say your enemy is the motherfucker you ain't allowed to talk about. So if anytime somebody say something about a woman, the motherfucker jump, oh, nah, fuck you.
That's your mother.
That's your problem.
Niggas always love to say that.
The same thing happens when you mention a woman that happens when you say something about Jewish people.
Damn, I didn't even think about that one right there.
Say something about a Jew. Nigga, you lucky if this shit make it to YouTube.
I was saying.
You lucky right now just because I said
I'm
Jewish.
surprised it ain't cut out right there now.
Your enemy is whoever you can't speak on. Guess what? Everybody allowed to speak on black men.
I can call you a nigga right now.
Everybody allowed to say what black men do and don't do right.
How we supposed to feel about shit. How we supposed to take the world hating us, all of this.
I tell women all the time.
Imagine that.
I take my lineage very seriously. My son ain't allowed to bring no woman in my house that wasn't raised with a man. Yeah, you can fuck him. You can have fun with him.
Do all this what?
But any woman that did not see the thing that she's trying to be, which is a wife, she can't be in my lineage. Right? Women get mad at this. Why? It's okay for you to say you don't date a nigga that's short, but I can't tell you, hey, I want a woman that wants to be a wife. She needs to see a wife, or I don't want her.
You teach your daughter to get these niggas who got money. If they ain't got money, leave that nigga alone. That's not horrible. You teaching your daughter to be a hooker.
The truth of the matter is that the reason why you get mad is because the average woman raises her daughter to be a prostitute. What do I mean? Prostitutes want money for their time. Doesn't matter what you do with the time.
No matter what.
Doesn't matter what
all
you do with the time.
All these bitches be saying that too. If you ain't sending the cash app, don't hit me up.
Prostitutes do not just get paid for sex. They get paid for their time. That's why they always advertise by the hour. It don't matter what you want me to do for this hour. You want me to cook you some rice and beans? I'll cook that for an hour, but you're going to pay me that $1.50. You want to just sit here and talk? Yeah, I can sit here and cradle you and feed you from my breast. Whatever you want for that hour, you can get. And the average woman will tell her daughter, don't be around here fucking these niggas and be broke. And these are the motherfuckers that you're supposed to go have a baby with. These are the people you're supposed to date, entertain, and do all the rest of that shit. Let me explain something to you. Value comes from scarcity. The reason why diamonds cost what they cost supposedly is because it's a shortage on them Jones. They don't only get so many, and then take them out, clean them out, and all that shit. It
Right.
takes a bunch of time. So diamonds are in scarcity. That's why they cost money. Gold costs money because it takes a lot to go get that gold. Why would I value a woman who spread herself all around? But this is why most families are broke up. Because, and you're gonna say, oh well, nah, that's not. Let me show you how that makes a difference with a family. If this woman is used to changing men every 3 months, how's she supposed to stay in a relationship for 10 years?
Let alone.
That's just thought. Because everything's muscle memory. And when you learn about psychology, you learn behavior's pathological. What you do in one area, you do in all. So usually what you'll find is women who don't have long relationships also don't keep jobs long. They keep switching. They get bored. Get here 2-3 years and they don't want to go somewhere else. Why? Did they change their benefits? Did they? Nah, I just don't like it there no more. Yeah, they usually don't keep men either. I tell women all the time, you failed at life if you kept a job longer than you kept any relationship. Women be on the job 15 years. Can't be on a relationship more than 2. All these niggas, Oh, yeah. Let's go. Well, how about this? Before you say I'm women bashing, just think about this. Y'all raised all the men. So everything I'm telling you, I'm saying about men too. Y'all raised them. So we're not doing that. We're not doing all that sucker shit tonight. This goes for both. See, I told you this is black power, not black man power, black woman power, because when you're separated, you don't have power. So when I'm talking tonight, I'm talking about both. Don't try to throw me under the bus with that bullshit. Right? Let me explain something else to you about your enemy. Y'all think so small. It never dawned on y'all one fucking second that all these podcasts talking all this, who bring what to the table and da-da-da-da, is being paid for by your enemy, stupid. What happened when you get a podcast? Oh, Dr. Pepper going, sponsor me.
That's funny how you
But they sponsoring you because you're talking divisive shit for your race. But since your mom told you just go get that bag, it don't matter.
Yeah.
It don't fucking matter. You know what I told my kids?
Niggas like us ain't getting seen.
Nigga, if I sold drugs all my life, I dare one of you niggas to touch one. Dare you. And I mean that shit. Dare it. My son told me he ain't see crack till he was 17, almost cried. That's what a man do. See all these bitch-made niggas? When they sell drugs, they want everybody to know.
I'm trapping.
Nigga, I kept that shit away from my kids. Even people in my community. I used to tell them when niggas found out I was getting money, I told niggas I had a scratch off.
I was gonna say, I didn't even believe it majority of the time. Even with shit proof in your face, you just make shit up. Like, there's no way. It's like, it can't be that.
It can't be the guy that's homeschooling us. It can't be the guy who got us reading the autobiography of Malcolm X. It can't be him. But see, women care about the image. When I used to sell drugs, in order for me to stay safe, I had to dress like niggas you would clown in the street.
I was just about to say, and then the drip, he don't dress like a nigga you would think is doing that.
Not at all.
He dress like a working nigga.
Not at all. Most of the time, when you would see me, I would have on somebody's work shirt that left at my crib. Something construction, something this, something that. I used to ride around with hard hats in my car.
Look like he doing, coming back to the site.
But not you dumb niggas. No. Gucci belt. It's all about the image. You know why? Because women, again, are tied to their image. And when you have a little boy, that's the first thing you do. So I can always tell when I'm going past a little boy that's raised by his mom because he got a greasy face. Because women care about their skin. That's the thing that matters the most. Y'all got to be soft. Men are supposed to be like this. So you send these little boys to school, you wonder why they get bullied. Because they know, nigga, you just being raised by your mom just like me. And guess who the worst kids is? The little boys who are raised by just their mom and don't have their dad around. You know why? Because one thing that don't nobody tell you is women are very emotionally fucking whelmed. When they come home, they don't have the time or the patience for no children. That's why it's supposed to be a dad in the home. That's supposed to be taking care of these bills and stuff for you so that you have the time and the patience. That's why when daddies are home, motherfuckers always tell you, I spent a lot of time with my mom. My mom used to take me to practice, and she used to take me here, used to take me there. Now you go to practice by yourself.
Yeah, you walk into practice. I got work.
Yeah. But you're only in football because ain't no dad. Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about how sports and all of this shit is just how your mom's way of paying for a father for you. She won't stay with your dad, but she will pay $200 plus equipment and everything else that you want for football. She will put you in basketball. She'll put you in dance class. She'll get you a tutor. She'll do all these things, and she will not call your father. Because here's the thing: most kids don't need any of that when they have a dad. So here's the thing that you might find fun. None of my children are sports fans. None of my children are celebrity worshipers. My kids find out about celebrity gossip from social media, just like me.
I was gonna say, yeah, pretty
And
much
we're
just
always late to the party.
I'd be stupid like you.
You know why? Because I'm moving out the country. When the last time your mama moved out the country? When the last time?
Take chances, as you said.
Don't take no chances. Mothers stay in the projects forever, even when they start working for the state, getting money. You know why? Because most women don't like change. That's why you're supposed to be. We are the yin and yang to each other. Again, I'm going to keep saying each other and together because this is not a woman bashing thing. It's only a woman bashing thing if you're reading this and saying, "Oh, this is a woman." You're bashing me.
You listen to one part of what we say and then just check out.
What that tells me is you're not willing to change. And in that case, I am bashing you because you're part of the. You're an enemy. Do you understand that most black men don't even like black women? You want to know why? They ain't got nothing to do with the women outside. They don't like them because of their mothers. They will never tell you. They can't. Because you broke them. You broke them. You know what? They can tell their dad everything that they don't like. They can't never tell you. Because you emotionally manipulated them from the time they was little. Every time he said, "I want to talk to my dad," you gave him an attitude, threw the phone at him.
Facts, yeah.
But then they'll be like, "I don't stop him from talking to his dad." Oh, no, you
A
do.
little microaggression.
You absolutely do.
And then I'm
You just do it in a very fucked up, psychologically fucked way. What you do is worse. You might as well stop him from seeing his
I
dad.
was gonna say, 'cause I'm a kid, I can't process that you're just feeling a certain way because you missing out on a relationship. As a kid, I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
I'm doing something wrong by wanting to talk to my father.
I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
But let me explain to you what happens when you do that. You take away that boy's self-esteem. This is why little boys are obsessed with making sure they drip is right.
Especially coming.
Guess what? My young boy wasn't worried about that shit. When he moved in with me, I remember him being a kid, right? I had bought.
Cause y'all niggas be thinking I'm lying. I want him to tell you out his mouth.
I had went to the store, and they had just started school, right? I wasn't planning on them moving back in and none of that right then. I went into Walmart and I bought them these little black Bobo shoes. And then that Friday, when the weekend came, the knockoff Van joints. You remember them joints? Okay. So I went there and I got that, right? And that Friday, I went and bought him and his brother some Jordans and Air Maxes and all that. But he knows that I don't buy stuff like that all the time. So he was trying to keep them Jordans clean. He was still wearing them Bobos to school after he had the Jordans. His brother came in here and I heard them talking at the table and he said, "Yo, why don't you just wear the Jordans so everybody can see you got them, they'll leave you alone."
I'm in 4th grade, by the way.
And I said, I heard him talking. I said, "Amir, if they bothering you, why don't you just do it?" He said, "These kids believe Jesus is white. They believe all of this stuff that's just crazy. Why would I wear the Jordans to make them feel good?" And I remember sitting there feeling dumb as shit because here I am as the adult. I put this into this kid. But see, when your kid is in pain, the first thing you want to do is take away that pain. Now imagine me. I'm level-headed. I'm intelligent. I'm smart. I read 1,000 books. And I still fell for that in a moment of weakness. Imagine what that's like for your mom every day when your music is trash.
You know this shit trash. You grew up in the era when niggas was talking some shit.
The mothers grew up in the era of Jay-Z,
the best rappers you can think of.
Real lyricists.
And they like
and still
too.
listen to it.
Yeah, they love them actually.
But somehow, she thought that flow that you got that's not even on the beat was okay. And now, all of y'all doing it.
That makes the lie that much worse because she knows what good music sounds like.
She knows the trash.
She's still willing to tell you.
But understand that she's doing this because guess who's not there to praise you? Your father. So guess what? That's another thing I get to do that he didn't do. Everything becomes about competition with a man, and it don't stop with him. It goes to you. Why you think you pay rent, but don't know where she pays the bills at? Black women all over the place. Soon as they get old enough to get a job, give me some money. And you out here talking about something, well, she made me responsible.
Teach you how to save.
Did you go to the electric company ever and pay that bill? Did you even see how she paid it? Because the average person now just pay bills on the phone. Did she ever show you on the phone? Because that's as easy as it gets. Hey, son, come over here real quick and look how I pay this on the...
And majority of the time, they ain't spending your money on bills. They went and bought new liquor and
the
clothes.
bill is already paid.
Yeah, you niggas, that's why you don't see new
You're just a
bottles.
victim. Because guess what? Again,
we don't want to believe it.
Behavior's pathological. If all I see men as is dick and a credit card, that don't change because it's my son. It just mean I can't get the dick. So I want more. I want the credit card. That's why. And y'all be broke.
Yeah.
Y'all be broken. Oh, man, you ever see these niggas at that NFL shit is the sorriest shit. I'm going to buy my mama a house now. My mama. How come ain't none of these niggas ever talking about they going to buy their dad one?
I used to have that question as a kid.
Because dads is already good.
Even listening to rap.
Because I guarantee you their father's already good.
Yeah.
Father's already good. He don't need a house. You know why? Because he probably already married. Got a family. He
How
good.
so afforded you
I watched my mom struggle all her life. Yeah, because your mom didn't want to listen to nobody. Your mom had people that was willing to talk, that was willing to help her. But you know what? She might have to hear somebody's mouth, and goddamn, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't gonna listen to nobody tell me, yo, you shouldn't have threw your baby dad away. Why you gonna throw him away? Because he cheated on me, but the nigga you with cheat on you now. Matter of fact, how about this? Now you're single, and the nigga that you're with fucks everybody, and you don't have a problem because he's not cheating on me.
And you popping perks, stealing your
Cool.
kids' drinks. Yeah, I'm like, nigga.
Cool. Okay, not a problem. And then you gonna say, well, what about the men? Who raised them? See, of course, you could talk that stupid shit to somebody that's 18 and don't know better. I've been through family court. I cut my losses at $6,200. Because after $6,200, I still didn't have custody of my son. Okay, little nigga, peace. I see when you get old enough.
$6,200.
Because I'm not going to do that. Because here's the thing. I spent $6,200, but guess how my baby mom had to spend? Nothing. She got a free lawyer just to play a game with me. Right? She got a free lawyer. That's why we couldn't go to court for so long.
That's crazy.
We couldn't go to court because so many women are playing games that the free lawyers are scheduled up. It took us 7-8 months for her to be able to have her lawyer to have a minute to be able to go to court in my county and be like, oh, here you go.
Imagine that you had to pay lawyers.
So imagine it. So remember, because whenever a black man say anything about a black woman, that first thing, that's just the one you find. No. There's numbers out. How many black men are on child support? Let's start looking at these things.
Because you niggas love to take into account statistics whenever it's men doing some
Whenever it's
violent
niggas
shit
doing
to women.
something. Oh,
But
yeah.
whenever it's some actual shit like
Well,
that,
let's talk
statistics
statistics
don't
then.
matter.
Let's
Yeah.
talk divorce
I was
statistics.
going to say numbers don't
Let's
matter.
talk how many black women initiate divorce. 80%. See why my son ain't going to be 80%.
80%, fellas. Okay.
There's almost nothing that's 80%. Nigga. You can't even get coke that's 80% pure.
80%.
You can't get weed that's 80% pure. But you can get 80% from a divorce rate. Okay. And that's initiating divorce, meaning I'm filing papers and saying I'm leaving. And guess why? You know, because feminists love to tell you, well, they were raping me, they were beating me. No. This shit is like, I want to find myself, which means underneath of another nigga. I want to find myself underneath a new man tonight.
Go around if I want.
I don't like that this nigga keeps telling me I gotta cook every night. I don't like that my family doesn't like him. Women leave for these reasons. Let's talk some other statistics. How about if you're a woman and your best friend loses her man, you have a chance as a man of losing your wife by 70-something%. I think it's 75% chance higher of you getting a divorce.
That's still a big number.
Guess what? Those numbers aren't the same for men. If our friends go through divorce, they just went through divorce.
Facts, man. I'll help them. I'll talk
We ain't
to
about to
them.
go outside and turn up with them and lose our families.
Facts. You're like, fuck my wife too then.
So, again, I gotta ask this question. Why is a bunch of grown women walking around here with wigs that got head full of beautiful hair that talk with this black power shit? You don't like nothing about yourself.
We love our black sisters.
When you say to me, and I know there's gonna be, oh, I just like to be presentable. Presentable to who?
Word up.
Because black men know what your hair look like. So who are you presenting yourself to that evidently you ain't good enough for? See, stop letting black women lie to you. The truth of the matter is, perms and all that shit started in the 50s. And those black women didn't lie back in the day. They came out and said outright, my child got a better chance in the future. White people feel more comfortable when their hair is permed. Now you're coming out with the new lie. Oh, no, it's not because of that. No, that's exactly for that.
Yeah.
That's exactly for that. So you want a baby hair coming down to here. Just starting 2 years ago, that just...
Yeah, facts.
You don't think that came from Instagram?
That whole
Edges didn't come from
hairlines
Instagram.
out
Okay. You know what they'll say? They had baby hair in the 80s. Yeah, and then it stopped. When did it come back?
That was famous niggas too, you saw.
When did it come back?
They always use famous people for a reference for regular niggas. Like, I be hating that shit.
Bruh.
Yeah, they always talk about what, I be hating that.
Listen, women live on outliers. You ever go on social media and see a woman to share something that say, man comes home from murder and starts 5 businesses? Do you know how rare that is?
Like, that's like
But a woman will read that shit, go home to her jailbird boyfriend. You need to do better. He started a restaurant. Where's our restaurant? Black men, stop putting brothers on t-shirts because you mad at your mama. I'm gonna say that again. Black men, stop killing and putting other men on t-shirts because you mad at your mama. Direct that anger where it goes. First at her, then at you, and then go to therapy.
Because I was gonna say it's pretty much where the anger stops too. Once you get past the initial, the aggressor,
Once you can get
and then
over
you can take your
that this is my mama, I can tell you what's gonna happen if you don't. You're gonna fuck 1,000 bitches. You're never gonna be loyal to anybody. Because you take on the traits of a woman. A woman goes with who got power. So guess what? If you fucking with one and you can love her all you want. But if this one got more money than you, or she allow you to do more shit, you're gonna go with her.
Mm-hmm.
Even if she's the worst pick. Because you're your mother, brother. I'm saying this with love.
Mm-hmm.
You're your mother. And women are still hearing this as women bashing, but right now I'm talking to the men about their weaknesses, their shortcomings. But a fucked up, damaged woman will take everything.
What I did, they talking about me. Like,
they talking about me. I can't sleep tonight.
Uh-huh.
I can't sleep tonight. Listen, if you live in this country right now, we have no money. Please stop believing social media. First thing you need to do is look up how long it took for social media to become legal. They already knew what this would do to your brain. They knew what this would do to your psychology, and they knew how dangerous it was. Just a small thing like this. Do you know how dangerous it is for a woman to be able to have access to pictures readily from 10 years ago? It causes body dysmorphia. How many times you seen a woman post some shit from 15 years ago talking about take me back? Bitch, you ain't never going back.
Ever.
That was 4 kids ago.
That's the one thing we know we ain't never gonna be able to do.
You don't got time for a diet because you got to work 4 jobs and have a side job and have a side hustle because you decided you ain't want no man in the house. Because your broken mother told you that men only want pussy, but you didn't know your mom was a hoe. You didn't know that your mom only seen people like that because your mom was fast.
Mm-hmm.
She don't never tell you that. What I tell y'all? Did I ever lie to y'all about anything? When they was young, they would ask me questions. You know what I tell them?
If it was too crazy, wait till you get older.
Hmm?
Anything else, we pretty much heard it. Yeah.
Never lied.
Mm-hmm.
Never once told them, hey, listen, the white man fucked up my life. You know what I told them? Nah, bro, I ain't secure a good enough future for myself. There was lots of things I could have done to make a better future for myself and my children, and I skipped out on it. You know what a woman say? Well, nah, I'm fucking with the wrong nigga, and I says
You turned into slaves.
Turned into slaves. Because now I'm milking you emotionally. I need to explain to you, and you know what you'll say? Well, why don't you just call my dad? Why can't I call my dad? He ain't gonna do nothing for you. Why can't I call? Because you know for a fact he is gonna do something. And you know for a fact that you created the kind of life for yourself where you're going to be alone for the rest of your life. So it's important for that little black boy to never speak to his daddy.
That's funny, yeah, because they going to let you call the nigga they know not about to come.
You know what they'll do? They'll let you around that murdering nigga. They'll let you around the gangbanger nigga that they fuck on the side or in secret. They'll let you around him. You know why? He ain't going to do nothing but disappoint you. He ain't going to do nothing but disappoint you. And he's going to make being a piece of shit cool to you, and you going to be one too. Anytime, understand something, men. Any man that's watching this, if you were not allowed around your father, or if your father did not see you, understand he was a good nigga. Because the ones that ain't shit, all the women don't have no problem around you being around them.
Y'all need to hear it.
You are allowed to be around the nigga who's on crack. You allowed to be around, because they want you to look at him and be like, yo, that's your dad. Look at that piece of shit, motherfucker. Da, da, da. Bring you to child support court so you can see him. But if you a good nigga,
gonna show you
your mama ain't never gonna let you around him. You know why? Because it hurts her to know he the one that got away. He the one I couldn't control. He wasn't led by pussy so much that he let me fuck other niggas. He wasn't led by pussy so much or down on his luck so bad that he let me do whatever I wanted so he got that place to stay. My man, appreciate you. Do you know how proud I am of each one of my sons? One of my sons gangbanged. That's the only one that wasn't around me. Go figure, right? Me and him even have a great relationship. We talk all the time. I'm the reason why he ain't active. But I just found out that my son gangbanged about a year ago. His mama knew since he was 18. Kept the secrets. I know what you're gonna say. It's just his mom. Just the ones I found, right? You know what that nigga told me? He said, yo, man, I be wanting to be around you a lot more, bro, for real, but sometimes I don't need you to tell me what I'm doing is wrong. Sometimes I just need you to tell me it's gonna be okay. I said, nah, that's for motherfuckers that don't care about you. That ain't my job. And I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna tell you something that can hurt you, it's gonna be okay. Because I'm not in competition with your mom for your love and affection. That's why women do that. That's why women go along with that. always say, single mothers only raise faggots or killers, nothing in between. Because either your mom's gonna raise you to be the type of nigga she should have fucked, or the type of nigga she did fuck. And if she raised you to be the type of nigga she should have fucked, she don't know what he was like because she never gave him no pussy. So a woman's idea of a good man is treat her nice, tell her she's beautiful, tell her she's a queen, buy her anything she wants. Women are sickened by shit like that. But she ain't gonna tell you that. Because then she would have to tell you I'm a piece of shit ass bitch. I didn't like good men. Those were the niggas that made me sick. When I went to the bar, I wanted the nigga that slapped me on the ass before he said hello. I wanted the nigga that got disrespectful. I wanted the type of nigga, as they love to say, that would shake me up and put me in my place. So when your mom slip up and do get a good nigga, you ain't gonna be allowed around him. I know that. For a fact. Right? I have a child of my own. All the rest of my kids been around the world with me. Got a 9-year-old, he been on a plane one time. I took him to Miami. That was it. His mom ain't never went nowhere with him. And she won't, because she don't give a shit. But he ain't allowed to see me. You know why? Because once you get around real love, once you get around real men, you don't want to go back to that. You don't want to go back to the woman that tells you just go in your room and watch the iPad. You don't want to go back to the woman that bought you the PlayStation 5 and don't talk to you at night. But when he gets older, he's not going to say, hey, my mom kept me from that. He's going to be like, my dad didn't want to spend time with me. Here, look at all these pictures of my brothers being in all these other countries. But not me. That's why I told you, go find your father. I don't give a fuck. The fact that you don't want to see your dad just proves how bad you are broken by your mother. And I'm going to tell you what's going to happen as a direct consequence of that. If your mom raised you to be a good nigga, you're going to have a kid that you ain't allowed to see. You know why? Because you're going to find a woman that's like your mom. You're going to go to the energy that's familiar. You're going to end up with a woman who calls you a deadbeat after she makes you one. Did you hear those words? Because that's what women don't tell you. That's what women don't tell you. You know why I don't fight for my son no more? Because after I spent that $6,200 and still got restraining orders put on me, I still had this girl go to probation and tell them I'm selling drugs and moved across the state and da-da-da. After a while, men don't want to keep playing these games with women.
A quick thing real quick. Whenever I say that I know a person who went through such and such, this is the person right here. So now he gets to tell you out his mouth. I just never wanted to, go too crazy.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
But there you go.
One of the reasons why people like me so much is because I'm honest about everything in my life. I don't lie about shit because I don't do anything I'm ashamed of. I don't live a shameful existence. I live a very respectful existence. Anything I understand, I was only here once. I ain't got no blueprint. There's no map, right? I don't expect to know everything all at once because nobody does. You know who acts like that? Women. Judge everything. Oh, nigga, you doing that, you doing that. We all came here. This is all our first time here as far as we know. Fucking right I made one. That's why I ain't got no problem telling you. Ask your mom the last time she made one. Ask your mom how come it didn't work. You know what she said? I stayed too long. What was something you wish you would have did different in your relationships? Not love the wrong person. What? See, understand something. When relationships go bad, it takes both people to make it go bad, just like it takes both people to make it go good. And I'm telling you that as somebody who was done dirty in relationships. Why? Because I had a mom that didn't want to tell me what a bad bitch looked like. Because if I found out what a horrible woman looked like, I might start asking questions like, hey, you do that shit. Hey, you did that. You did that too. So they leave you as food for these bitches. Majority of my adult life, I had to hustle. And I hustled out of bars. So, like the way you make the most money, right? One thing I can tell you, no matter what state I was in, no matter where we was at in this world, I watched women pass up the good nigga night after night for me and knew I wasn't going to do nothing with you. But there's a nigga at the joint with a garbage man's uniform on. He might work for the township, be a janitor or something, work for the school board, but he got a union, he got benefits, he got all that. Boring. Do not let them lie to you. You know why they can lie to you? Because you grew up under them. You used to the lie. You don't know when the difference between the lie and the truth. I've seen so many women. Again, you're going to say, oh, no, that's just the certain ones. I dealt with women with doctorates. I had one Joan that was a director of nursing, made $225,000 a year. She had a party at the house one night, right? I go over there, every one of them with a hood nigga. One of them trying to sell me a sweatsuit out the back of his out the back of his car. No disrespect to the hustlers, bro. I'll buy one out the back of the car. It was just the point that, like, I couldn't believe that these women, it's a whole room full of these black women, they didn't want nobody that was in college. They didn't want nobody with no degree. You know why? Because an insecure woman wants somebody she can control. So if I go get me some little hood booger, put him in this 5-bedroom house that he ain't never seen before, chances is he'll do anything to stay with me. What happened when you the hood nigga with the 5-bedroom house, though? Can't do nothing with me. That's why I don't last. See, when you get in this motherfucker and I say, yo, take that social media off, you're not gonna have that shit in my house. We don't watch reality shows here. We're not gonna argue neither. See, I was raised by men. I don't argue with women. Women gonna win. I play games I can win. I'm messing with a joint right now, right? Fun story, baby. That's what's up if you see it. You know I'm talking about you. And again, this is all realness. One night we on the phone and I asked her something. I can't think of what it was. Oh, she asked me a question and I repeated the question, right? So let's just say, she said, what was you doing since I talked to you last or something? And I said, what was I doing? She got mad, hung the phone. She got triggered. Probably somebody did something in the past or something. I don't know. But she got triggered when she hung up the phone. And when she hung up the phone, she called me the next day and she was like, yo, what's up? What happened to you last night? I'm like, nothing. I was at the crib cooling when I was up. Well, you never called me back. I said, well, you hung up on me. She said, yeah, but you ain't called me after that and see what was going on with me or nothing. I said, no, when you hung up on me, I assumed you wanted some space. And I assumed you didn't want to talk. When I hang up on people, I usually don't want to talk to them. She said, yeah, but you don't know that women do that sometimes to see if you're going to... And I said, well, listen, I'm gonna need you to remember what I told you in the beginning of this shit. I don't play games in relationships because in every fucking game, there's a winner and a loser, and I don't like to lose. Right? And she said, so this is crazy. You really don't argue. I said, no. My response, when you hung up the phone and wrote back that this was a pet peeve of yours, I wrote okay.
Word up. Took your word for it.
But I'm not going to write okay and then call you back because then it really leads to, that's how you're going to start dealing with me from now on. That was crazy. You're going to start dealing with me like that from now on, and that's not the message I'm trying to send. That's just like when black folks decided that when cops started killing us, they was going to kneel. That's not the message I want to send my oppressor.
I say this every
I'm
time
not. I don't want to. What?
Why? Yeah, you niggas thinking that kneeling and shit. That's like if that's just like look at it like a bully. If I'm a bully and you keep coming up to me trying to be friends, you think I'm gonna want to be friends with you? I'm gonna keep on doing what I'm doing because what you're showing me is that there is no change needed because nobody is upset enough.
Tonight, actually, what's up? Need help?
That's what they see where. That's what they saw when the Panthers was out here riding around with straps. Because they willing to stand on it. They care enough they care so much that they willing to lose their freedom and their life behind this change.
Call you right back from the video.
That's what actually standing up shows them. Y'all think that when y'all stand up and if y'all go shoot somebody, you think they gonna see you just nah, they showing that the shit that we going through means that much. I'm willing to put my own life on the line. And that's why every other race gets changed before us.
Let me show you something about your enemy for real. There was a dude named Micah something. I forget what his last name is, but in Texas a few years ago, when they started killing niggas, he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna start killing these cops." These fucking police was so scared they sent a fucking robot in that joint.
This is one man.
One man stood up, not kneeled. He stood up, and they sent a robot in there. Let me assure you of two things. One, cops ain't gonna do that to mine because mine will never put themselves in that position. But if they were, there ain't no kneeling, there ain't no protest. You ain't gotta do none of that shit. You might as well stay home and make me a fucking ham sandwich because I'm gonna go kill them niggas that killed my son. We're gonna send a message. So this is why they needed black men to not be in a household with men. Because your mom just tells you, man, baby, make it home to me. No, baby. You seen what happened when they were doing the Baltimore riots? black woman got rich because on TV she beat her son to a pulp. Now, if this was any other time, she'd have got child abuse charges. Beating her son with a belt and a stick
outside
on television.
in front of people.
The news cameras is
He
there.
hiding it.
They sent this woman to college, all of that, because that's what they want black women to do. Break your son.
Yeah, they were just rewarded. We just saw that. You got rewarded for breaking your child.
I understand that. But I popped my son in the head because he went to school and put a piece of gum on a paper and slapped the bully with it. Because he decided he wanted to be the new bully in school. So when they call me and I come there, I pop him in the head. Boy, what you doing? She said, I'm so sorry, but I'm going to have to call the diapers on you.
Off the rip. Like, off the rip? That's it. You about to go out to the park after this.
Why? Because a father came in here. Let me explain something to you since we want to talk statistics. Do you understand that boys who grow up with their father are less violent? When you out here, you see these little young niggas out here beating people up, snatching with the Kia boys and all that shit. None of my sons stole no car.
Never.
You know why? Because before the niggas could drive, they could use mine.
I was gonna say I had the opportunity to steal the car.
Know why?
This
Because
nigga went
I
out
don't.
on vacation.
I ain't selfish.
Yeah, he went out on vacation at one point. We had both cars.
What happened when a woman got a car? You ain't using my car.
Yeah, with the keys.
You get more use out of it than I do. Blah, 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 blah. Let's stop lying to ourselves.
With ounces of weed, we wasn't stealing no weed, no nothing. We had all the opportunities.
Whatever
Me and my
you
brother,
wanted.
I done told you niggas all these stories. We had multiple opportunities.
I don't know what he told you because I don't watch every video. I don't have time. But when they they started smoking, I would have so much great weed.
Great weed.
And not just like,
Yeah,
we talking about edibles, there's nothing that they couldn't
I
have.
ain't just trying to sound cool here.
I told them niggas, yo, just wait. If y'all want to smoke, I want to smoke with you. Just wait till we get to Puerto Rico so we can smoke and like, it needs to be a thing. When the last time your mama took you to Puerto Rico? Nah, she just in there smoking weed with you and now you buying it. When the last time, I'm just saying, like,
What at the age when you go?
my son, he was the first one to blow because he had crazy anxiety, which I'm sure you don't know now because of
I done told y'all.
Because of the way he
Y'all
is,
be
but-
thinking I'm lying. I told y'all I was anxious.
he
Yeah.
had crazy anxiety. We couldn't even talk sometimes. He would just, if the conversation was too deep, he would just shut down and just be like, I gave this boy a red velvet cake edible, and it changed our whole lives after that.
Her sister, we were talking.
But I didn't wait till he was 18 because I'm like, it's legal. You know why women do that? Because they so worried about what somebody gonna say about them. But you know what's more important to me? If my child was okay. I don't give a fuck what nobody say about me. Why you think all these women went and got that vaccine? Because a bunch of other women on their job went and got that vaccine. That's why women are in charge of the household. But you don't think your enemy thought that deep, huh? You don't think your enemy changed up the game so that he could get everybody vaccinated? You don't think he thought that 20 years ahead of time? Let me show you how deep your enemy is. The term toxic masculinity, why don't you look it up? Find out when it was coined. Right before crack hit. They already had everything lined up. Black people always saying stupid shit like, they ain't even know. They just made that for us, but they ain't know it was going to hit poor white people. They absolutely knew it was going to hit poor white people. You know why? Because poor white people are starting to unify with blacks.
Y'all got the same struggle, y'all.
But you will not jump on the FBI's website and go learn this for yourself. They don't hide this from you.
They got to tell you, or they going to be prosecuted for it.
The Freedom of Information Act is here. You go on the FBI.gov website, you will find out everything that's conspiracy. They're telling it to you. So understand that when I see black people say conspiracy, the first thing I think is, you're an idiot. They killed a president. Just to show you how big they think. They killed JFK, right? What is that? Oh, yeah, go ahead. Like that back up on it. They killed JFK. And everybody that was there saw his driver shoot him. They made a term called conspiracy theorist, literally flooded it and made people who seen it with their own eyes doubt what they saw. And then 40 years later, they're just now letting go of the shit now. And it's on the FBI.gov site in the JFK files, and it'll tell you, yeah, the driver shot him.
Damn.
So all these years, they were literally telling you, oh, it was a magic bullet. At one point, they said it was look it up. Google the magic bullet. You're not understanding how deep your enemy is. You're not.
How far they willing to go.
To this day, you believe, the average black person believes that the Nation of Islam killed Malcolm, which they tried. But you don't know that the FBI and CIA killed Malcolm on American soil because they didn't believe that the Nation of Islam would actually kill him. But by the way, I am not bigging these fucking faggot niggas up either, by the way.
98% of them niggas.
One of the things that I learned, because Malcolm was my hero growing up, when I went through them files, did you know that almost everybody in the Nation of Islam at one point was fucking FBI? I remember reading them files and crying because they niggas said the only person that believes in any of this shit is Malcolm. We can kill him now. There's one of the Jones where they was going through it, and when you look at the paper, it's like a meeting they was having at the table. And it was Agent 1, Agent 17, Agent 12, Agent this, Agent that. Then it was Malcolm and his security.
Damn, I imagine.
Damn near everybody in the Nation of Islam was an agent. And when I say agent, I don't mean they was working for him. I mean they was working with them.
Nigga thought he was
These were black criminals.
Nigga died, then he changed.
Selling drugs. Malcolm to this day is not the person that your mama gonna tell you to go after. She gonna tell you Martin of nonviolence.
Martin Luther King.
That's why.
That's what you learned about in school the most. They glimpse past Malcolm X. They say his name,
He's a
his
blip.
wife's name, and that's about it.
He a blip.
I was going to say that's.
You don't even know that Malcolm X's wife was literally reporting him to Nation of Islam, letting them know his every move.
Damn.
Betty Shabazz.
Yeah,
Look it up.
That in school.
Look it up. These are things that's important for you to know, so that you won't be out here talking this black queen shit. Why you think black women are repulsed when you say it?
Yeah, this shit ain't new. This whole thing.
Call a black woman a queen. See what she do.
See if she chuckle. That's what I was.
She laughed. Look at this fucking thirsty nigga. You know why?
You in the group chat.
Because they know they whores now. They know they prostitutes. They won't tell you who taught it to them, but they know what they are. Anything that you say positive to a black woman, she don't want to hear that shit. Laugh at you in your face and go fuck your homie. Go fuck the nigga that called her a whore.
And she think you lying even when you wholeheartedly mean that shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh
yeah. You know,
like
you know what she said? Niggas say anything to fuck you. That's a lie.
It's like me as a liar.
Niggas don't call you a queen when they want to fuck. That's a lie. Most niggas who calling you queen, they already approach you a different way. It didn't work.
We just throwing shit out on the table now.
So now I'm gonna try to appeal to your ego, because that's the one thing I see you doing.
What I feel like.
I mean, you're walking around here looking like a fucking Muppet baby with that goddamn wig and weird shit on your head. Which, by the way, this is how they have you grown men out here fucking transvestites, because your woman looks like one. See, back when I was a kid, the only people that wore caked up makeup, wigs, eyelashes, and all that shit were gay men who were trying to look like women.
In the 80s movies, you could always tell who the tranny was. Even in Last Dragon, I knew who it was.
The caked up makeup.
Something off about that makeup. It's too much.
The caked up makeup, all the weird colored lipstick. See, you don't know anything. When you don't know anything, they can trick you with everything. And they do it all the time. You think what you doing is brand new, ain't nothing about what you doing brand new. Check out something called the Weimar Republic. Weimar Republic.
I thought I was bashing Jews.
Oh, you talking about that?
Yeah, they thought I was just bashing Jews. I'm like, no.
If you go back to the Weimar Republic, the women was dyeing their hair. They was wearing the wigs. See, you don't understand that this is Jewish culture. Jewish women have to wear wigs. They ain't allowed to show their hairline.
Look at the outfits, too. They was wearing the same outfits.
The tight outfits, all of that.
When that nigga showed me these pictures, I was like,
prostitution, completely legal. Encouraged even.
Use,
child prostitution. This is why Hitler killed them. But you weren't allowed to know that, because all these people make the movies. They're not going to tell you, hey, we bought immorality here. You don't know that the first three things that Hitler said before there was ever a war, before anybody got gassed, killed, or anything, he said, we're going to end homosexuality. We're going to end interest on banks, because, again, according to the Christian Bible, it's wrong to do. And Jewish people don't charge that. It's called usury. Not interest. The word for that is actually called usury. U-S-A-R-Y. Look it up. These are sins against God, stupid. I'm gonna call you stupid because you niggas actually think paying, I got that bag, I don't even care what the niggas charge me. You don't even know by paying interest, you're a fucking committing sin. And you wondering why you got all this trouble in your life.
Word up. You got the bag, but your mind ain't right. You wondering why you get.
I don't believe that anybody can tell me that you believe in black power when in order for you to feel good about yourself, you gotta have a dick-sucking white man's name on your shirt. And you probably looking at him like, yo, you sound just like this nigga.
Father, like son.
But that's why they don't want you in the house with your father.
That's what they say. And I told you, I spent equal time with my mother and my father.
They don't want you in the house with your daddy because you're going to talk like him. You're going to end up thinking like him. And what if your daddy a real one like me? My kid started training in a gun range. How old was you the first time?
8 when I first shot my
8 years old.
Yeah, I shot my first gun.
22s with scopes. I still got the pictures, all that.
I
You know, we was the only families. We was the only black family in any gun range that we ever went to.
I always seen the little white.
Oh, there was white kids that was out there.
Yeah, they was always my age banging big rifles too.
When you live with your mama didn't go into the gun range.
I've never seen that little nigga bang that AR-15. I'm like, damn.
You know what your mama said? No, that ain't for you. That ain't for you. Guess what happened? When you tell the kid you don't want to talk to them about sex, they go talk to their friends about sex.
We learning weird shit.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna show you right now. You know what I told my kids? No, let's talk. Because when you meet these niggas that's raised by single moms, they try to knock down everything. When I told my kids about sex, I told them, nigga, pussy's just as good as you think it is. Hold off on it. Because it's just like a drug. The moment you get it, after that, you're going to spend a lot of hours trying to get some more of it.
Nigga didn't understand what he said till I was going through
and niggas ain't get it until they got some pussy. And it was like, oh, shit.
Yeah, he ain't lying.
But this is what real fathers do. Real fathers don't encourage promiscuity. Because we know what it leads to. But guess what? When you don't know what fatherhood is, you go to your friends. When you don't know manhood is, you go to your friends.
Niggas on the street.
Women, if you are watching this, never, ever tell your son anything bad about his father because he understands that he's half of that man. So what you're really telling him is fuck manhood. And then wonder where all these fuck niggas come from.
You gotta learn in the science.
You made him believe that being a man was wrong. It was shameful. We've been at it an hour.
Okay, all right.
I want to do this. I could do this all night.
Word up, I was gonna say, yeah.
I was gonna start my own, but now that I've been doing it with him, I don't think I want to start my own. I want to do it with him. So you'll be seeing us just on a separate page, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely gotta get that up and running.
But just understand this. All the content that you see, and I'm very proud of him. It's one of the proudest things when I watch them videos. Not only can I see myself in him, I can hear myself in him. I can hear it in the music choices that he makes. There's nothing more proud to a father than that. To your mother, it's only going to be what your accomplishments are. To me, I don't give a fuck if he blow up on YouTube or don't blow up on YouTube, because I don't believe that there's a such thing as blowing up on YouTube. I don't believe in that. I believe that you could sell out on YouTube. Sure, you could get an endorsement by Coca-Cola, and
that's the only niggas who make it.
And then have your people drinking Coca-Cola and fucking up their organs and shit. See what I'm saying? Like every bag ain't the bag. But what I will say is, nothing brings me more pride as a man and as a father than seeing a boy who's proud to be mine. Understand that your mother took that away from your dad as a consequence for being a good man. Sometimes in a consequence for just being a man.
And that's how much they know a father and a son's relationship
is worth. It's the ultimate prize.
Actively go out to destroy it. Damn.
I always tell you this. If your mom's idea of hurting your father was to not let him see you, that makes her trash and makes him a king. Because the only people who it hurts to not see their children is good men. If I didn't want him to be in my life, I wouldn't give a fuck. So remember that when you're sitting around talking about, I ain't even know my dad, fuck that nigga, yo. I'm gonna go kill this nigga across the street that look just like me.
Word.
You're fighting manhood, bro. You're not fighting that nigga on your street.
You know what certain shit you lacking.
You know that you lacking certain shit, so you gonna make it up by being extra tough.
I shot it.
And most little boys who do that, you're not even looking at manhood. You're looking at a woman's version of what manhood is. Women think to be a man. That's whenever you hear a woman be like, I'm like a nigga, what she means is I get fucked a lot. Because if you're really like a man, men stay in bad relationships to keep the family together. Men will give up everything they fucking got. I didn't get, my kids would go get new school clothes, Christmas clothes. I ain't bought shit in 2 years.
I was gonna say.
That's what a man is. Being a man is having enough money to pay all these bills, and I'm driving a Nissan Sentra with fucking roll-up windows. But I could have just said, fuck it, go live with your mom and had a fucking Benz.
Living the life, word up.
I didn't even get fucking welfare. When you want to talk all that, oh yeah, it ain't that, it's just that the moms is good. No, you know how much of a hard time as a black single father I had getting assistance? I remember my electric getting cut off one time. And everybody told me, go just go to welfare and tell them you having a hard time. Da, 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 da.
I ain't tried that already.
I was in that motherfucker for 3 days without no electricity. Man, I'm gonna pay this bill. I ain't listening to you motherfuckers.
Word up.
See, understand this. When a woman tells you, I'm a struggling single mom. No, you're not. You're a single you're a single woman with children. That is not the same thing. And number two, you're not struggling because you have so much help.
Facts.
Besides your family and friends and support system, these niggas ain't never been to a sleepover.
Just absolutely.
They can't even tell you, they never even been to nobody's house to be babysat.
Yeah,
I had time. I had patience. I had love. My children was never a curse. The average black child is a curse. When you tell your family, I'm having a baby, the first thing they do is laugh or start talking about you.
Mm-hmm. Start picking everything apart. You ain't got no ring.
Look at this motherfucker. He ain't got no place to live. He about to have a baby. He ain't got the...
Like, nigga,
But we love each other. How you start off as a curse, but now you're a gift? You
world
can't
started
get
with none
something
of this
positive
shit.
from something negative, nigga, unless you're a pitcher. Only thing you can get good from something negative is a goddamn photo.
Damn.
So think about that for a second. He said, damn.
Yeah, damn.
Bars, nigga.
Yeah.
But no, that's real shit. Like, so, and I need you to know that because there's a lot of very hurt and scarred men. And I'm not just talking about the sons, I'm talking about the fathers. My 9-year-old had no idea how many nights I cried myself to sleep and woke up crying because I could not see him. He had no fucking idea. And when he comes to me on some Tyler Perry shit in 10 years, oh my God, why didn't you fight for me? I'm gonna tell him, no, I did. I did. And you know what? Not only did I fight for you, but I still love you. And the reason why me and you can't deal with each other now is because your mom broke you and you can't leave her alone. Because the only way you can have a relationship with me is if you leave that woman alone and abuse you. See, y'all forget that not letting a boy see his father is actual abuse. See, all you think about is the physical.
Shit you can see. Word.
The shit you can see. Oh, nigga, motherfucker whooped my ass. Motherfucker did this. Motherfucker did that.
Being emotionally abused, but you forget about the shit you're doing to your son.
But you don't forget. You forget about that part. When your son's sitting around looking sad, you know why he's sad. You know how you know? Because that's when you be like, come on, let's go to GameStop, baby.
Let's go get something.
Come on, let's go get you some Jordans, baby.
Some McDonald's.
Your mom bribed you all your life to stay away from the only motherfucker that could save you from your problems. That ain't black power, bro. That ain't black power. You know what black power is? Black power is when I realized that I couldn't leave this bitch alone with my kids. I stayed in a relationship 4 more years, so I couldn't take it. That's black power. That's black power.
Put yourself through actual ass for a second.
I'm barely having sex with this woman. I get nothing out of having you, and I'm still paying all your bills. My 9-year-old don't know I was only with his mom because by the age of 2, I figured out that I couldn't leave her alone with my son. And I stayed till he was 7, and I couldn't stay no longer. Y'all don't even know that's 80% of y'all. 80% of black boys who don't know their daddy, you had a good father.
Shit, if you get past all the pain, you'll start to have some of the memories back. Like, oh shit.
If you could get past the lies, deceit, and pain.
Yeah, y'all need
My
to
son
know.
literally told me the other day, my mom mad because you don't pay for nothing for me. I said, Kamara, you just turned 9. Me and your mom was together till you was 7, and she ain't have a job the whole time you was together. He said, well, when y'all was together, both of y'all paid for it. No, you didn't. Your mama was taking the clothes I bought you and selling them online.
I was gonna say.
If that was your idea, sure. Other than that, your mom worked 10 hours a week at a daycare center. What kind of bills were you paying for on that?
In this country,
Your check was $100 a week. What were you doing with that?
You can't pay for no baby in this country with that.
I was paying for cell phone bills. Nigga, your mom's cigarette habit was more than $100 a week.
Weed, baby. I was gonna say weed together.
No, she never paid for none of that. I kept big jars of that on the counter for free.
This was the weed price was up.
And I didn't even sell weed.
It wasn't 20 an eighth. It was 40 an eighth.
Yeah, that was $40 and $50 an eighth.
40 an eighth.
And you getting the best weed in America. And I didn't even sell weed. That was just to keep around to make that woman happy and keep her calm so I could run my household.
Now that I'm older, I'd be like, damn, he's the hell of it.
So I need y'all to know, because understand something, the men run the nation, but the women birth it and raise it. So if we as black men are despicable, put the blame where it fucking goes. Ain't no man out here with a $15 a month apartment. The minute that woman have a baby, she can jump on. When I was a kid, that was a hustle when a woman had a baby. She couldn't wait to get pregnant. They used to have places where you can go get discounted cars if you was a single mom.
Damn. Oh yeah. So.
Yeah. This is it.
And you niggas still don't even think that was done on
You
purpose.
and you act like your mama ain't really leave your daddy for no reason, or just have a baby with a nigga that she ain't really care about.
You had to make up
And she not gonna tell you that. She not gonna tell you I had a baby on purpose with somebody that I knew I wasn't gonna last with. She's just gonna tell you he's a piece of shit that didn't want to be around. Because again, a woman's image means everything, even at the fucking risk of losing her son or her son losing himself. We're gonna end it for the second time officially now, right? Because I want to hit this joint too and finish talking with my son. But understand, I really do like talking. This information do gotta get passed around, and we do gotta start talking about things that actually fucking matter. I don't ever want to hear any black man talk about Kendrick.
Yeah,
any fucking rapper. You gotta get somebody has to be serious.
Kendrick's not the revolutionary people.
You're not gonna be saved by any rich person. I'm gonna go out on this note. Rich people, if they actually like poor people, most of their kids will give away the family fortune. Stop looking towards rich people to save you. They actually raise their children to not give a fuck about you or your issues on purpose. Okay? In hip hop, we are the only genre of music where you shit on the fans that you want to buy your music. What do I mean? I smoke your whole rent in a blunt, nigga. Who was he talking to? He's talking to you.
I'm listening to your music.
I'll fuck this nigga bitch. Your bitch. The person who's bumping this. That nigga that you're listening to right now.
You driving in a Honda and you happy.
Driving in a Honda and you happy. Word. They're talking about you. And you don't even know that you're being disrespected because you're used to being disrespected. You used to it. My kids, back in the day, I had to put it in perspective for them. We was in Philly and we ran into a cat named who's the boy from Dream Chasers?
O'Malley.
Seen O'Malley.
Yeah, O'Malley.
Who happened to be a cool nigga. If I do catch you, salute to you, bro. I appreciate that day. That was fly as fuck. Took him over to the whip, let him see the car, everything.
I always speak bad.
But these niggas liked the rapper that they was afraid to go get a fucking autograph from. Yeah. And I had to explain that to them. Cause I walked in the store, yo, my man, and my kid want to take a picture. I don't even know who the fuck you is. That nigga came right out like, yo, no problem, OG. Shook my hand, shook the kid's hand. He said, yo, y'all ain't gotta be scared, bro. Y'all ever see me, yo, and took the picture.
I remember that.
But we the only group of people who will be fans of people we afraid to speak to, because that's how low we are on ourselves. Because nigga, I'm not going over to I see Rick Ross today, weird looking ass with that black ass beard. Yeah, if I see his weird looking ass, I'm gonna say, nigga, I'm not walking up to you. And I like Rick Ross music. My kids grew up on that shit. But you was a sucker, bro. I'm not gonna go along with that shit just because I fell for it. And that's another problem. When you do something wrong, don't ever be afraid to admit it and change. The way your mind works is until you tell yourself what you're doing is a problem, your brain don't know it's a problem and it won't do it. But the moment you acknowledge it, your brain starts looking for ways to solve that problem. It's like a computer. When you understand how neurology works, and again, stop looking at TikTok to show you. There's a reason why they want you on TikTok. If you get used to only watching 15-second fucking videos, you can't sit there and read no book for no 15, 20 minutes. You can't sit there and read no book for 3 fucking hours. So what you looking for, I see young people all the time, damn man, what you said was deep. They got a movie about that? Like, damn, man. Why? Why would you want to see a movie? I just told you I read it in the book. Because you don't got time for the book. But you do got time. Young black boys are unemployed. You have all the time.
Same amount of time you spend.
You don't have the attention span. And because your mom is addicted to TikTok, she's not going to tell you. Because your mom addicted to Instagram, she's not going to tell you.
The niggas ain't got no imagination either. So you can't read a book that ain't got no pictures and you just trying to...
Yeah, the imagination is going.
Just words.
Why would you do that? That's what sucking niggas. Bro, listen. Stop trying to be like everybody else. The strength is in being you. Everywhere, anywhere. Be yourself. That's a real flex. If you can't be you, you a bitch ass nigga, go get a wig too. Go get that wig, go get that baby hair, go get you a Gucci bag. Or that thing, that Marc Jacobs bag that all the bitches have. Understand how weak that is. It's just a regular fucking $4 grocery bag that say Marc Jacobs on it and all these bitches got it.
I thought that was like some hype bullshit. I didn't know it was designer until I got on TikTok and shit like that.
But that shows you it's the same thing with these niggas. Everybody, oh, I'm a real nigga, I'm fashionable. Yeah, I got style. No, you walked in Macy's and you had the same choices everybody else do. You want to tell me you fashionable? Start making clothes at your crib. You niggas won't do that because somebody might laugh. Somebody might be like, yo, that's corny. And you can't fucking take it because you're a woman. So let me show you something. That look like Gucci. That look like Gucci. Rick and Morty 3D glow in the dark. It's time to grow up, fellas. Time to grow up.
That's crazy. Look at that. Father and son.
China just told you that all them bags cost $10 to make. All them bags that gave you your identity. For years, you was shitting on other niggas. You know what I told my kids? When the last time you met a shoe cobbler? That's what they used to call them when people made shoes. A cobbler. When's the last time you seen a nigga downstairs in his basement making a pair of Air Force Ones when never such thing as fake shoes? But again, black people hate each other so much, we judge each other by that.
Find any way to discredit a nigga.
I see black people look at white people, dogged out ass shoes. You don't expect that from them. You don't even say anything. First thing you'll say is, look at them. Look, they ain't even trying to. But then you walk right around some niggas, look at him with them shoes. I can't believe he got them shoes on outside.
You're further enforcing why he's not gonna come out.
Black power, huh? Love you. Stay safe.
For sure.